Hey guys, there's been this disc, or kind of plastic, that's seemed to fall a little bit under the radar. I've not seen a lot of people talking about it. Maybe it's because it's an Infinite Tour Series that's come out, but this is a Pharaoh, a Halo Pharaoh. Very domey, nice rounded feel, but it's Halo G blend. And if you know Infinite, if you take G star and then you just change star to blend and you have G blend plastic. So this is a Halo G star disc. A lot of people love G star for being a little bit gummier, being a little easier to throw because it's typically more understable. And this Halo typically is a little more overstable. Today we're going to be reviewing the Erica Stinchcomb Halo G Blend Pharaoh, because Innova's been coming out with some interesting Halos recently. This is last year's Halo Pharaoh. This is just the regular Halo S Blend. This is what my Sphinx is in this year. You also might have seen that this year they did a Proto Glow Halo Destroyer that Calvin ran, which is a little more understable than the typical Halo Destroyer. They also have done Halo Champion C Blend, which Infinite doesn't have anything of yet, but I've heard is coming down the pipeline. And I haven't heard anything about more Halo G Blend discs, but I've thrown this around a little bit, and I think people are actually gonna really love this. I don't imagine seeing many of them on the site for much longer. I'll have it linked down below. That is so far. So we're gonna play the back 9 holes, or the middle 9, I guess, here at Owl's Den. It's 9 holes that I think will be able to showcase these discs in most of the lines that they need. It starts out with a 480-foot hole. There's a 510-foot par 5, and some shorter par 3s where we can also hang out with a buddy that I know you guys like and see kind of what's going on with this Halo G Blend. Because I also have a companion video that got posted today on Infinite's channel of an interview that I did with Erica, asking her kind of why this and how she made it happen. That is also interesting, that I'll leave a link down below if you want to check it out. But these discs surprised me just based on the feel. But first, let's get some big rips in. 480-foot hole 1. There is an eagle opportunity, 2 eagle opportunities, I guess. The par 5 and then an actual par 4, which I've eagled before. So you'll be able to see hole 1 way down there. I actually need to show you this because it's a little insane. We got a tail, or mostly right to left, and a lot of it. So this is not going to show you how understable this disc is, because honestly, I'm just going to throw a lot of hyzer out to the right of even these rightmost trees and see if we can kind of push it in there. You could see when I throw it hard, I mean, in that right to left wind, it still flipped up that much. It just carries so easily though. Get there. Oh my gosh, I think I almost aced it. Wow. This is such an easy disc to throw. Like, I don't throw Pharaohs typically. This is my most understable Emperor in my bag. It's a really beat-in I-blend disc. Not as domey, and honestly, the Pharaoh feels a little better. Let's throw this real fast. I think that's a little more overstable, but it's very, very close. Yeah, went a little bit to the right, didn't quite leave it out far enough. The more I pick this up, the more I just want to throw more of them. I also saw there were only about 30 on Infinite's site. Maybe they have more in the stock. I'm actually gonna reach out and make sure there's more, because I know a lot of you guys are gonna love this and want to buy it. And then also support Erica as well, one of the 2 hot geese doing FP on Jomez. I think this has a place that it could potentially make my bag. It's very, very understable, and I don't think I'd roll it because of the plastic, but I'm yapping. I'm gonna try to throw a turnover against this wind and see if I can do that at all. Turn! Ah, I was close. There's just way too much right to left. We gotta check out last year's Halo Star Pharaoh. This, flippy, but kind of similar to my regular Halo or Star Pharaohs, which is gonna be similar stability to a stock I-blend Emperor, but with a little more turn and a little more fade because it's a little bit faster. I got the less hyzer, I didn't get the wider, but you can see how much more overstable that one is compared to the I-blend and the other Halo G Blend. Also, I know people are gonna ask about the bag. It's new, got sent out to me, no affiliation yet. We're talking, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna be on a call with them tomorrow about some stuff, but I like it so far. That's about all I'm gonna say about it for a while, just because I have no idea exactly what's gonna be happening with them. But this disc is one of the best feeling Pharaohs that I've ever felt. The G Blend or G Star plastic typically is way too gummy for me. I'm not a very gummy guy. I like this, especially around the rim specifically, to be stiff. And what this Halo does, I think, is really stiffen that out. Surprisingly, I don't have a single G Star or G Blend disc to compare this to, so I'm sorry about that. But it is definitely gummier than your S Blend. This already feels all right, but this feels like a true Pharaoh, like a true 13 speed. The Pharaoh, I believe, is a mixture in some capacity of the Shrike and the Destroyer, Shrike being a 13 speed. And what's interesting is this Destroyer being a 12 speed, which is my most comfortable distance driver speed. I do like 11 speeds as well, but I can throw these and they go a little farther. This feels bigger than this Pharaoh, ever so slightly. I think a big part of that is the little added dome that it has. If you can look, this is a little flatter than this one is. And I'm guessing because this dome got kind of popped up, the parting line dropped a bit. So I believe this is really understable, like as understable, if not more, than my most understable disc in my bag. Really good at elevation. Like not gonna be too understable, I don't think, as you saw, I mean, 480 foot shot. But the dome makes this by far the most comfortable Pharaoh that I've ever felt personally. And it's still stiff enough while being gummy enough that, like, I think this is one of the most slept on disc releases of the year. To be complete, like from any company, to be fully honest with you, this is sweet. If people force me to, we might have to do a Halo G Blend Sphinx next year. I keep thinking it's gonna be so much gummier feeling in the rim, and it is in the flight plate, but the rim is like, it holds up, and I think that really helps add to the glide because you can still rip it really hard without it really warping too much, but there's still so much airspace underneath here. Disc golf is so beautiful this time of year. We do have a similar kind of right to lefty, a little headwind. It's 350 down there. And we're gonna try a little forehand at it, I believe. It's actually coming this way. So like it was a tail right to left over there. So it's still gonna be mostly right to left here, which should be solid, honestly. 355, honestly, with these, I think with the wind, throwing it flat at the basket to a slight amount of anhyzer. I don't wanna throw it hard because it's a very glidey disc. One of the glidier Pharaohs, just, I mean, look how high that dome is. And it's not super overstable at all, but I think it still has some fight to it, so let's see. Okay, wait. Yeah, it didn't have the fight I thought it would. Whoops. I think I threw that like I should have thrown the other Halo Pharaoh, so a little righter aim and a little higher and a little more hyzer. There we go. That's perfect. Yeah, that felt like the smoothest throw ever. Like I felt like I was throwing at 300 feet and it went about 350. Here's the Halo S Blend for comparison. That was less hyzer than the one I just threw and way more overstable. So the other Pharaoh's pretty flippy guy. It's been a minute since I've had a driver that I pick it up to throw it and it kind of puts a smile on my face. I have that a lot with mid-ranges and fairways, but surprisingly not putters or drivers. I don't think putters move right to left enough, I guess. And drivers, sometimes they're just too fast or too overstable or the flight's not as consistent, but these are so glidey and still very flippy. And even though I kind of burned that first one over, it got back to flat and was coming out. It just didn't. It's a very, very fun disc to throw. I also know you can't see this, but the Halo Pharaoh that I threw is long right of the basket, and the S Blend, or the Halo G Blend, and the Halo S Blend is short right of the basket. The glide is unreal on these guys. I thought the wind would do more, I guess. Made the correction on that last hole, so we got about 260 for this one. Let's try to throw a good first shot. This time we got a right to left tailing wind. Similar shot to the first hole. Try to keep it on hyzer, don't let it flip up, which means it's pretty steep hyzer and just really smooth. Skip in. What did it counter? Oh. All right, let's make the correction and throw it in the basket. That thing is so easy to throw. No, what? I need a third one. I skipped it on either side of it. All right, our hole 4. Let's get some more birdies. We got 2 eagle opportunities coming up, which will be great, but this one's kind of straight ahead, about 370, 375, I think. Straight tailwind now, flat towards the left side of the gap. It'll drift enough and then fade enough that hopefully we can pipe the gap instead of trying to do something cute. Skip up there. All right, we did something cute and went through the smaller gap from an early release. Wow, that thing just hovers though. Closer, I pulled that one the other side. And it's gonna get sneaky through the other one? Oh, not a sneaky. Decent shot for getting a little sneaky up that left side. Oh, man. Let's put one of these away. I'm very sorry if I gave you the impression that these discs were so fun that you're not allowed to putt well anymore. This is one of my worst performances in the last few weeks on the putting green. That being said, we'll turn it around, and this is gonna be my first albatross on this hole. This is a par 5. We all know it's par 4. It's 510 feet. Really tight wooded, double mando, but it's listed as a par 5. So we have a little head right to left. So you have to hyzer flip this and just try to throw it smooth and get it in the right airspace, which is going to be kind of mid to high height. If I can't birdie this hole, unsubscribe. And if I can, please subscribe. Yes, keep turning. Yeah, baby. Oh, it hit something late, but wow, that thing is just a laser beam. I didn't even try to throw that very hard. I'm gonna try to throw this one a little harder and throw it a little lefter and get a harder flip. I just skied it. Nice. Classic. Here, where this one hit down, let's try to get up and down for eagle, I guess. Show a little finesse from about 320 feet out. I'm gonna try to throw flat down that left side gap and just let it drift until it starts fading again. Typically how discs work. Okay, throwing slower, it's not as flippy as I gave it credit for. When I was talking with Erica, she was saying if you don't throw over 275, might not be for you. And you're probably not gonna see like the really late drift if you don't throw over 350, I would say maybe, but it'll still be very glidey. It's just not gonna get like that late flight turn. That's also dependent on nose angle, but those are my thoughts. That being said, I have an albatross potential here if it didn't kick too far left or if it still kicked forward. A little stymied through here. There is a little step out forehand. I'm actually glad you guys are set up that way. I'm gonna try to skip it in. This will be my first ever albatross. At least on something that like maybe has some justification for pars. It's still not quite there, but it's closer. There's a little forehand window. Smooth, nose up, hyzer. No! Oh, dang. I don't think it would have done it, but it would have been relatively close. It's better. No, it's not. It's the same exact freaking thing. Should be a relatively easy eagle if I can putt from 18 feet. Let's go. Hit my spot. Can't pick up the disc. Nice little bird eagle. A little secluded off here from the wind because of where the teeing area is. I don't see a lot going on down there. I do know a lot of times like these trees that are desert trees, they're kind of built to withstand some wind. So sometimes it's windier than it lets on. That being said, if anything, it's going to be a little right to left because the river is that way. I think it's like 540 or 560 or 570 or something out there. Big old hyzer flippy guy. See if I can get an eagle. Smooth guy though. Don't try to throw your arm out. Ah, too swoopy. Turn. Get the late drift. Come on. Dang it. It's very far. But it's just, I swooped it too much out of the hand instead of finishing it. Kind of backed away from it. Try to make the correction on this one. There it is. Yep, that disc likes to go far. Here are my farthest flying discs right now. Let's see if I can match that with one of these. This is my flippier Eiblet Emperor. A little more beat in. Late drift. Yep, go. Very similar, but not quite there. Not quite there. This is a newer one. It's a little domier, a little less flat. Yeah, I mean, they're all kind of in that pretty far range, but the Pharaohs, they got that little extra push. So I didn't connect with that one like I did the other ones. It's still gonna be relatively far. 70 short of the first one that I didn't really connect well with. And it's just not as understable. It's much bigger in your hand than all those other discs, which is harder for my little baby hands. I mean, we're gonna have to U-disc this one and see how far it says it is. It says we are from the T-pad. I'll make an actual U-disc. Because that second shot was smoothly piped. It's a smooth flyer. Let's see more, measure throw. Best is plus or minus 16. So I picked this guy up about 60 or 70 short of the rest of these. And we have pretty good spread. This is my more stable Eiblen guy. Maybe, I mean, this is inside circle 2. So this is, yeah, actually, we can see what UDIS says. So 485-ish to this orange guy. So moving up here a little bit to the next one. Call it 492-ish. Basket right there. This one got onto this upslope pretty good. This is the second one, and it's right at 498 to 498, I guess. So this other one, I'm gonna show you the U-disc, but it's just about as far, maybe even a touch farther. But we got some eagle potential. I mean, those are just about maybe 55, 60 feet out. So this one up here, according to U-disc, I'm getting readings between like 510 and 497. It's kind of hovering around 502 as the final distance. So we'll call it that. I can't really see the basket from here, so I think to get a little extra fade, we're gonna try to jump with this guy for the eagle. Okay, that's not bad. Less distance or differences than I thought. I do feel like I threw those Emperors a little harder, which might mean I should slow down on them and have them be more consistent, because the late turn on that one Emp was crazy. I think if I threw the same angle, it'd be just as far, if not farther, than the Pharaoh. Pharaoh won this round by 5 to 10 feet. Now let's see how my forehand power has progressed, because I've honestly been throwing my flat distance forehands in the 400 to 425 range, which has felt really good recently. This next one's like 480 though, so it's downhill, and we might have a helping wind, but the wind seems to have died a bit. So if I reach it, I'm very happy with this disc. Weak sauce, kinda. That's not bad. A little higher and a little more turn out of the hand, because I can't. Or honestly, just finish that with the shoulders. I threw that pretty heavily arm instead of torso. That's better. Too much, no! I mean, that had the juice to get there. It's just, I corrected the angle and the shoulder turn. We'll try the older Halo Pharaoh. See if we can find the in-between shot. Yes. What is that tree? I think that's pretty close to circle one. I'm really happy with that. You can imagine that's the one I make. 3 down through those 3 is not bad with a cheater eagle. Let's try to get 2 more, finish strong. All right, 355, right up top of the hill. It's honestly a pretty good distance to see how this will fly. Whoa, that was fast. I always talk fast, and I'm sorry. This will be a pretty big, I can't even talk slow. That's why I talk fast. My brain doesn't work, I guess. This will be a pretty good distance for how a lot of people are throwing these. So at 355, slightly uphill, I'm gonna try to throw this on that little flex line, which I showed you a couple holes ago. Not really the shot for me with this disc, but I'll try to slow it down a good bit, and we'll see how it flies up to that basket. You don't want to finish left, so if anything, air a little bit right side. And I didn't. And I threw it 30 feet short. So that's how it'll fly throwing 320 feet. You can definitely see the long turn that it had. And if you are throwing at like sea level, if you just take like 10% off the feet sometimes, it's a pretty good estimation. So like, since I'm throwing it at elevation, it's gonna have a little less glide. The distance, it's hard, because it's not just like, oh, it flies 30 feet shorter, but it's kind of an approximation. So if you're throwing about 300 feet, that's probably how it flies. That disc probably traveled 340, 350-ish. Didn't roll away, luckily. A little higher. Psych. A little better. Throw the Pharaoh instead. Oh my gosh. There will be a special guest on this next hole, so we'll throw to it first. Before I know some of you clicking off the video, frankly. Don't blame you. But I want to show you kind of what kind of shot you can shape when you're throwing these really, really hard. And hopefully we get a nice long drift. Because I'm throwing mostly hyzer flips because there's been stuff on the right side. I want to show you the big, long panning turnover. Moved up a bit, I was a little ambitious. From here, you just says it's about 518 feet. So since it's slightly downhill, we'll see if we can put one of these inside the circle. Throwing it really hard and flat and just letting the disc drift almost the whole way. So that's a little high. Step back there and see if I can't just rip it, because why not? Wow, a little more nose angle down. It's probably neutral to slightly nose down, but not quite enough. See if we can't get a massive shot out there. Wow, I mean, not quite there. And for reference, I think this might have more late turn actually, this Emperor. Well, that was rude. 523, pretty solid. Snag those if you want, and hope you guys enjoy my buddy. Some of you know him, some of you love him. A lot of you hate him. Most of you just think he's cringe, man. You're right. See you in the next one. Big Tony's back, you jabronis. And Banana Dingling, man, gave me 2 frisbees before he left. Now it looks like your boy got saddled with the hardest hole on the course, 300 feet. I don't know if I ever thrown that far, but Banana Boy said we got the right disc for the job, so, you know, Big Tone the jabroni's got to put on a show. Hopefully we'll see if this Erica Stinchcombe Pharaoh will work for some of y'all. 300 bills. Wait, that's 3 bills. I can't throw 300 bills. See if we can even get it there. Well, I think I got the juice. I just don't got the aim. We'll correct it. I heard Banana Boy was correcting on the second shot too. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh, baby. I ain't got it going on. I'm gonna pick those up and I'll make sure I give you a park job before I leave. At least a birdie, okay? Holy chestnuts. Just like my favorite athlete, Joey. I got this Pharaoh, he passed the basket. Sorry for your Europeans that I didn't say the meters. I only speak freedom units. Oh, we're throwing those up today, huh? The disrespect I'm putting on myself. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I'm gonna tear down that rock and cuss its mother. I found this random hat and shirt out here somewhere, so I figured I should return it to the rightful owner. That being said, we're gonna screw these rocks for taking away the park job. We all know it was gonna be there. It was gonna skip in. We all know this. We don't have to replay the footage. We don't have to make Big Tone throw no more. All we gotta do is say arrivederci. This is Big Tony's new distance driver. It goes far, flies easy, hits some stupid rocks, but we all know it's a good frisbee. It even goes too far to putt. Just for funsies on the way out, I'll leave you with one more shot. Banana Boy said I gotta outro the video, so you're stuck with me. 215, we all know this is more my speed. 1 forehand, 1 backhand. 0 good accents ever done in one of these segments. Go in the bucket. Go in the bucket. That was pretty short. Well, now that we all had to witness that, I'm gonna say goodbye. Oh, what a